Post-millennial.
Good point.
2 men arrested after allegedly planting explosive device under Fox affiliate news vehicle in Magna, Utah. Okay, I mean, that's the news. 2 men have been arrested for allegedly leaving an incendiary device under a Fox 13 news vehicle. The men, Adib Nasir, 58, and Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir, 31, were booked into jail and faced multiple charges, including threat of terrorism. Possessing explosive devices. The device underneath the Fox 13 news vehicle was originally located on Friday and determined to be real, according to officials. The device had been lit, but failed to function.
Very American name. Yeah.
Today I was,
Heritage American.
Yeah, that's heritage. Old school, really. Utah names.
I was watching the news, and if you're wondering what civil war would look like, it's things like this. Most people don't know the story even happened.
Yeah.
That's what's scary about it. The news today has been dominated so much by, of course, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, as well as, I think, Israel's launching a ground invasion of Gaza City or something. This news is just breaking. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's, of course, Russia and Poland drones. And then 2 men arrested for putting an explosive device on a news vehicle. You also had the threats in Annapolis, which resulted in an accidental shooting. You had the threats and swatting calls to all these different universities. And I think what people don't realize about what civil war looks like is, I'm not saying we're in a civil war, but it looks kind of like this. You'll turn on the news, and you'll be watching Fox, or maybe you're watching MSNBC.
Go for
but it'll be Brett Baer, and he'll say, in other news, I-95 in Texas was hit by an IED, cutting off the flow of traffic from the south into the eastern regions. So everybody, unfortunately, you won't have your strawberries in time for Christmas, but at least we will still have our local fruits and vegetables. But in other news, and then it'll move on. In the event that there is some kind of civil war or whatever, conflict, crisis in this country, it's not going to be every state lining up against state. It'll be you turning on the news and they'll say, power is out in Omaha as a substation was struck by gunfire. It'll be you looking out your window and in the middle of the night you hear rustling and then a bang. You creep over to your window and take a peek out, and there's 3 guys in armor with guns slow walking down the street, and you don't know what they're doing or why, and that's it, and they're gone. It'll be you going to a marketplace and hearing gunshots go off, and then you'll hit the ground, and then that'll be it, and you won't know why. But you'll hear a lot on the news about gas attacks or bombs being detonated, and it'll mostly be in a faraway place. Very few people will actually live in hot zones, and this is every civil war in history.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that this is the beginning of a civil war is something that like we've kind of been dealing with for the past, or at least touching on. And there's a lot of people that are really critical about, oh, Tim says civil war, blah, blah, blah. But you can't deny that there's been an increase in rhetoric and an increase in violence over the past 5 years. That's basically, I mean, as far as I can remember, it's not like any other time period in my life, and I'm not a spring chicken anymore,
Tim's description sounds like right now to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that is happening all the time when I turn on the news.
I turned on the news the other day, and every story was about some kind of violence happening, and I was just like, holy crap.
A year ago in the same town that Robinson's from, a trans kid shot his parents.
Whoa.
Both of them. Like right down the road.
Must be something in the water.
Must be.
Yeah. Feels like, to me, we've been in ideological war for God knows how long at this point. It feels like a long time, and it's becoming increasingly physical to the point where people can't ignore it. And the way I look at it, it's like it's obvious, mate. We've been in war. We've been in war of politics. We've been in war of ideology. It's been brutal. People haven't been able to talk to their family members, cutting each other off. This is warfare. It's mental warfare. So the fact that people, some people, I know some people, they're shocked that things are getting physical. And I'm like, mate, I can't believe it hasn't got physical, didn't get physical earlier. And I'm shocked. I just look at it and I'm like, it's just another product of this lineage that we've been on.
It's human nature.
Yeah,
look
well,
at
it
the
is.
60s in this country.
Well,
we're going through it again right now.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to get answers from that. Like Malcolm X was shot dead in front of everybody, including his kids and his pregnant wife. Mm-hmm. And they have 3 people in jail. Well, they had 3 people in jail, and they didn't even get the right 3 people, right? And then like right now, his family is just now, as of 2021, suing the CIA and the NYPD.
People never
over
seem
his
to get
death.
the right people in these things.
They
you know?
don't.
So the problem with like today though is it's not tit for tat. Like it's almost entirely coming from the left. So it's like you would need to see a ramping up of like right wing political violence, which is just not happening because political violence is inherently left wing coded.
You think that, but they think that that's not true because they'll point to J6 and they think, but we know that's probably left wing violence.
J6 was an insurrection.
They see Jan 6 is like Pearl Harbor.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think this is a civil war. I think this is a attack from the left onto the right. I mean, down the road, maybe it would go tit for tat, but right now, the kinetic violence is coming from one side.
I just,
Well, that's civil strife then.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we are, by most academic assessments, we are in a period of civil strife. It does not mean a civil war will happen, but I think when Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, everyone can plainly see we're at least in a civil strife period.
Well, I mean, not only that, but I mean, you go 2 attempts on the president's life, and then there was the Minnesota lawmakers.
Steve Scalise.
Just look at the
There was
reactions
Steve
to big
Scalise,
political
and then
events.
There was the firebombing of Josh Shapiro's house, and then there's this Charlie Kirk. Like it's not like there haven't been significant back and forth kind of attacks on different ideologies from one side or the other.
But it's not the same like when it's an attack on a left winger. It's like there's always asterisks when it's an attack on a right winger. It's like everyone endorsing it, or when they do give these condemnations, it's like there's so many like qualifiers on it where it's like, well, he was this bad guy, but we shouldn't kill him.
I mean, I agree. Like the left does apologize for it a lot more than the right does. But the point that I'm making is that we are like whether or not we're in a period of civil strife is not in question.
No, that's
Oh, no.
well, that's
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
I'm just like it's not gone kinetic from the right.
Last year ended with Mangione.
Right.
And then
Mangione's
and then the new year happened with
That
the
should have
New
been a
Orleans
warning,
terror
by
attack.
the way. That should have been a warning.
Dude,
Yeah.
January 1st was the New Orleans terror attack and the Cybertruck blowing up outside of Trump Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Think about all the things that have happened since, and like they went into that terrorist's house and miraculously his Quran was open up to the page on martyrdom and they let journalists in there. That's a whole other story.
It was the
which is
guy,
weird.
the truck guy in
the truck.
in New Orleans.
That's what I'm talking about. We've had, and don't even forget about the drones in the sky that led up to Mangione. We had the guy who fired upon all those firefighters in Idaho, what you're saying in Minnesota, the Catholic church shooting. I mean, there's other shootings that have happened. The same day Charlie was shot, there was a Colorado school shooting.
Right.
So that is just happening. It seems like it's happening at a much more frequent clip.
And a lot of those that like the school shooting, the Catholic school shooting, that was definitely politically motivated because it was a trans person that was attacking
It was a
Catholics.
copy
Was
of the
he?
Nashville shooting.
Didn't he grow up in a Catholic family or something like
think
that?
so.
Had some
His mom worked
connection,
at the
some
school.
reason to hate it or something.
People that hate their father.
But again, that person,
yeah.
that
Fundamentally
shooter was
problems,
referencing
like,
all these other cult type figures that were mass shooters, and they referenced all of them across the political spectrum. So where it creates a distortion when you hear about it.
To Tate's point, the idea that the left, well, the fact of the matter is the left doesn't accept a lot of the things that are actually leftist. Like they're trying to deny that this kid was a leftist. They're doing everything they can to swear up and down that he wasn't. They wouldn't say that the trans shooters, any of them, are politically motivated, even though they have an ideology that is the exact reason why they hated people and why the exact reason why they went after the targets they did.
I'm just like, if not that, then what? There's no other reason. Like there actually isn't. There's like no other reason. You're the Catholic school shooter.
Well,
It's like,
saying-
what other reason would you shoot up a Catholic school?
Saying that the trans shooters that go and shoot up Catholic school is not political is like saying Dylan Roof going to an all black church and shooting all black people
Right.
is not political. So if you think he's just a crazy person and that's not political, then I can say, okay, I disagree, but then I would understand why you would say the trans person is not. But if you think one is political and the other is not, then you're just being dishonest.
You know what I notice? These leftists, like when it comes to art, I'm a musician. I'm in the music thing. One thing I hear a lot from leftists and a lot of this left wing culture is that everything is inherently political. I hear that a lot. I hear that.
So the personal is political.
How convenient when it's looking bad on your end, it's not political today. But tomorrow, some guy in a Trump shirt does something, or even just wearing a red hat, it's not even a Trump hat, does something. It's like a light switch, mate. And that's why no one takes them seriously. And that's why there's an exodus. It's like the death throes of an insane group of people. That's what it looks like. And going on to your guys' point, you said kinetic energy, and I love that. But I was looking, just all the energy that you're seeing from all this tension that's been happening. Just look at all the protests that have happened over the past 10 years, all the fire, all the destruction. No one talks about that in conjunction with this. We have had signs, the Luigi Mangione thing. We've seen people die already for political purposes. We've seen people like killings out of spite in the back. People get shot in the back. Like I'm a Christian. I don't believe anyone should die. And so when I see people going, yeah, kill there are much better ways to go about taking care of these problems. And that's why we live in the United States of America.
Well, like fundamentally, it's like fundamentally, and what you're saying is like they don't kill Charlie Kirk if they think they're winning. They kill him when they're completely demoralized. They feel like the boot's on their neck. That's when you strike. It's like a cornered animal.
It's the death throes, mate.
It's the death throes, exactly like you said, precisely. So it's like, that's exactly what's going on. Is they're not negotiating from. They don't have the higher ground. This is what you do when you know you're on the way out, when you're demoralized.
This is the back's against the wall. Make sure you never forget me.
Right.
That's what it feels like.
This is how I look at it. Like they've always been a death cult, but it's been in the shadows. And I compare it to Ted Bundy operating in the shadows for so long undetected. And once he's caught, he jumps out of a window, takes a log, and just goes crazy.
You know?
And then they get him.
Think about this. I'll say one more thing before I'll let you guys take the wheel, whatever. Sorry, I've been talking, mate. But I look at it. I look at these people. Where was I going with this? Oh shit! I actually completely forgot.
Crazy people backs against the wall.
Crazy, backs against the wall. Nope, still forgot. This is why I'm not a podcaster and I just sing songs, mate. I think I had a good point somewhere and it escaped me, guys. Everyone trust me, I had a sick point.
That was
It's gonna
great.
be a sick clip for
we'll
YouTube.
pretend it was a great point.
Everyone was like,
Yeah,
thanks,
but
guys. Appreciate you guys. You didn't hear it, but
no. I knew it was good. I knew. We'll cut it and say he had a great point. That was
it was a great
excellent.
point.
Yeah.
But
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.